Hi, I'm Tom Richardson for BoatingLocal.com, and today we're back in the shop to talk a little bit about marine wiring, specifically how to make the proper waterproof terminal connection. Now, it's not very hard at all as long as you have the right materials and the right tools, and we're going to show you what those are right now. When tackling any boat wiring project, make sure you're working with marine grade tinned copper cable or wire like this made by Anchor. It'll say marine grade either right on the spool or right on the insulating plastic jacket of the wire or cable. Now, it's important to use marine grade wire because it's better able to withstand the rigors of the marine environment through the tin copper coating of the wire strands. You can see that's nice and shiny. Make sure that the strands are always shiny when you first remove the jacket. And the insulation itself can withstand exposure to oil, gas, and sunlight a lot better than regular automotive cable or household wire. Another important part of the wiring job is the ring terminal itself. I only use heat shrink adhesive lined ring terminals, which are available at most marine retail stores. The great thing about these is that they have the heat shrink tubing already attached to it. Also, it's lined with a special adhesive, so once you make your crimp, you can apply a heat gun and that heat shrink tubing will shrink down right over the wire, and that adhesive inside will make for a completely watertight connection. One handy tool I recommend investing in if you do a lot of wiring jobs is a automatic wire stripper like this one made from Anchor. It's not very expensive, but it will make your life a lot easier when it comes to stripping the plastic jacket off of the wire end. Simply insert the wire into the jaws of the stripper, give it a firm squeeze, and it strips the outer coating off perfectly to about a quarter of an inch or so, which is exactly what you want for your wiring. A tool that'll make your life a lot easier is a ratcheting crimping tool like this one. You can see it has 3 slots in which you can insert the end of your connector based on the wire gauge, and it applies even pressure to both sides of the sleeve, allowing you to make the perfect crimp every time without compromising the heat shrink tubing on the outside. Okay, so now we're ready to go through the steps of making the proper ring terminal connection. Take the wire, insert it in the end of the wire stripper about a quarter of an inch. Give it a squeeze or 2. And expose about a quarter of an inch of that nice shiny tinned copper wire strands. Next, take your ring terminal. I'm using a 10 gauge wire here, so you use a 10 to 12 gauge wire terminal. Insert it in the end. So insert the wire in the end and make sure it butts up nice and solid against the end of the sleeve of that terminal. Take your crimpers, ratcheting crimping tools, give it a big squeeze. There you go, there's a nice solid connector. Give it a pull to make sure it doesn't come out on the end. Now you're ready for the heat shrink gun.
While you can use a butane torch or even a lighter for heat shrinking, I prefer an electric heat gun. Once the gun's warmed up, place the end a few inches from the terminal and apply even heat to the tubing. Turn the wire in your fingers to ensure that all sides of the tubing constrict over the wire. Keep applying heat until the adhesive begins to bubble out around the ends of the tubing. Let it cool for a few seconds, and there you have it, the perfect terminal connection.